Japan's free-to-play market hits some troubled waters. Dragon's Prophet ushers in its closed beta. Planetside 2's March update lands on servers. Path of Exile sees free-to-play success and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. Japan's free-to-play market is set to get a little bit smaller as a wave of mass MMO shutdowns are scheduled for the upcoming months. Originally reported on by the foreign MMO-focused site Stepperu, publishers in Japan will close over 15 online titles, including some well-known MMORPGs such as Argo Online, Ecol Tactics, Concerto Gate, Quorum Online, Prius, and Hellgate. While this doesn't mean the same MMOs will also be closing in the West, since that's usually up to the region-specific publisher to decide, it certainly isn't a good sign. These MMOs have already begun closing and will continue to do so through May. You can often get a sense of a foreign MMO's future in the West by looking at what's happening to it in the East. Case in point, Tera Online began having issues and went free-to-play in the East long before those same events transpired in the West. Ecol Tactics only just recently launched its English closed beta, which has me wondering whether the MMO's time in the West will be short-lived as well. What effect do you think this will have on the Western free-to-play market? In a lucky turn of events, both North American and European players are getting access to Runewalker's upcoming dragon-collecting MMO, Dragon's Prophet, at the same time. Surprisingly, North American publishers Sony Online and EU publishers Infernum both announced the closed beta would kick off on March 19th, which is such a sudden announcement that by the time you view this, it will have already started. Those that have already managed to secure their key will be able to log in and experience the game's initial 4 zones. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that many individuals will be able to get into the initial closed beta, but there are opportunities for future play during the upcoming stress tests and beta key giveaways. The developers say they plan on giving players enough of a heads up to ensure they don't miss the opportunity to try out the MMO. The devs also stressed that player feedback on the forums will be crucial for the game improvement team, helping to ensure the next steps for Dragon's Prophet go as smoothly as possible. If you want to find out more Dragon's Prophet details, we recently attended an EU event for the MMO and managed to snag an exclusive interview, along with some new gameplay footage which you can check out right here on MMOBomb's YouTube page. The sandbox shooter, Planetside 2, continues to see new updates and features added on a monthly basis. Earlier in the year, we saw strategic underground tunnels added, along with a redesign of some of the larger bases in order to provide better cover for both attackers and defenders. Now, the latest March update just released comes with a host of new additions, including new quad bikes, faction-specific rocket launchers, and some much-needed UI adjustments. With the introduction of the redesigned quad bike, better known as the Flash, players can take a buddy with them on the go via a new rear-mounted seat, which allows an additional player to hitch a ride. Those who choose to ride as passengers can use any available weapon or tool, except for deployables, allowing players to take pot shots at enemies while zipping past them in the heat of battle. Additionally, the Recon class can use Cloak while on the Flash, cloaking both themselves and even the vehicle for a short period of time. The new faction-specific rocket launchers are also slowly pushing the separation between factions forward. The Venu have picked up a charge-based launcher which deals additional damage based on charge time, a new magazine-fed launcher capable of firing multiple lock-on rockets in quick succession has been given to the Terran Republic, and the new Conglomerate get a camera-guided launcher which allows the player to steer the projectile in mid-flight. More exciting updates are planned for the coming months, which players can check out on Planetside 2's official roadmap, which details potential changes based on player interests. Some of the more interesting upcoming additions include player-generated missions, ragdoll physics, and continent locking. What changes are you looking forward to the most? Scarlet Blade, the over-the-top, mature-themed MMORPG from Area Games, officially went into closed beta last week. And just like in the past, Area Games continues to use the term closed beta while disregarding what the term closed actually implies. The beta is available now for everyone to download and does not require any key to access. We got some time with the closed beta and all we can say is that we are impressed. Impressed an MMORPG managed to so quickly surpass Tera in the how can we make this as sexual as possible and get away with it department. Area Games is offering Scarlet Blade Founders Packs for players interested in getting a few extra items as well as the exclusive mounts and costumes. Speaking of items, there is apparently an item in the cash shop that even allows you to see everybody naked. Oh boy. If you want to get a sense of how the game plays, be sure to check out our full first look breakdown here on MMOBomb's YouTube. And the game of the week is Tera Rising. Tera is a 3D action MMORPG that's enjoying some new life after its recent free-to-play conversion, which has so far brought in over 500,000 new players. The MMO features a non-tap target-style combat system, giving a player complete control over their character's combat, going so far as to even require players to aim their heals. Couple this with Tera's fantastic spell variety, and you have an engaging and dynamic combat system. In addition to the game's highly flexible combat system and impressive visuals, Tera offers players the opportunity to take on towering open-world bosses, fight in both open-world and structured PvP, participate in intricate dungeons, and even be elected to a political position through the game's intricate political system, which allows a whole zone to vote on a player to become its matriarch. You can even fight for the chance to become matriarch if winning over the hearts of other players really isn't your style. Once elected, a player can access rare crafting patterns, set tax prices on vendors, and even enter into alliances with other guilds in order to vie for supremacy against others on their server. If you enjoy skill-based PvP, large-scale boss fights, and an engaging combat system, then be sure to check out Tera Rising. Thanks for tuning in this week, you guys, and thanks for putting up with my post-MLG Dallas. I screamed way too loud at my favorite league team's voice, and as usual, be sure to like, leave us a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next week.